Hey guys, what is up? It's Laura here, back with another video. So today's video is going to be kind of like an advice video. So on YouTube and Instagram, I'm more active on Instagram when it comes to a daily basis. But on YouTube, I have been pushing out content, especially with working from home and everything. So I wanted to give my tips on collabs and getting PR and stuff like that, because I think a lot of people think that they need like a million followers to get free stuff or to get paid to talk about something. If it says much, and like the title's kind of clickbait because like you do need the, followers. But I think the misconception is that you need a lot, which you do not. My first ever collab that I ever did was when I was transitioning my Instagram page from a food related, like, I was basically just taking pictures of food and like stuff that I found in the grocery store, which like some pages, they get big off of that, but I was kind of wanting to be more of a lifestyle reviewer blogger, but with like me in the pictures. Well, I believe it was last May I got my first collab, and I only had like maybe 700 or 800 followers. It definitely wasn't like a large number, and only recently, like within the last month or two, did I hit past 2K. But I've been doing collabs like semi consistently since like December of like the recent December. So I've only been doing collabs for about a year now ish. But I've basically gotten most of my collabs before I hit past 3,000, which, to a lot of people, 3,000 followers on Instagram is not very much. And I got my first YouTube collab before I hit 300 subscribers. So I am a prime example on why and how you can get these collabs. So my first piece of advice to you is make a media kit. If you don't have a lot of like followers, a media kit is really going to set you apart from other people. So what a media kit is basically a portfolio / resume, but for your social media presence. So what you want to do for your media kit is, if you've ever done any other collabs before, you're going to want to list every single one of them. You're going to want to list your engagement rate, which you can find if you turn your Instagram into a business profile. You're also going to want to put, like, if any companies like referred or like said something nice about your work, like, oh, this company is great, definitely would work with them again. Take examples of like the post of your highest engagement rate. I've seen a lot of people do that. So most companies, from what I've seen, look for an engagement rate of at least 5%. And what an engagement rate does is it tells a company, hey, these aren't robots that are following this person. People actually give a shit about what this person's saying. So that's huge. And then any posts that you have that have a decent amount of likes or comments, definitely show those. That's going to probably be your highest engaged one anyways. And your media kit will definitely set you apart from a lot of people who are not having a whole lot of followers, because a lot of people at that stage, they don't even think to make a media kit. So a lot of companies will respect you just because you did that. And then another piece of advice I would say is, when you're first starting out, it's really, really hard to get your name out there and reputable. So most people like me starting out will go solely through a third-party service. So what I mean by that is, most people have smartphones, so you can look this up yourself. There's plenty of different apps that are wanting to kind of be that middleman for influencers and brands, so the brands don't really directly talk to any bloggers. So a couple that I've used in my day is Brand Ambassador has been really good. Basically, you do like these little missions and they'll like send you product. Hey, this is, what the product looks like. Go tell your followers to buy the product, whatever. Um, I'm kind of testing around with Collaborator. Collaborator is good because, like, even if you're like a small business yourself and you don't really have a big budget to be using a third party service, that one I believe you don't have to pay a whole lot to use. And influencers can find you. You can request, and you can also set your rate. Later in the video, I'll talk about what a rate is. But that's good. Recently, like within the last like day or two, I got back into Perlu, and I'll try to link what these sites are called so you can go check them out. But Perlu is basically a really, really large site for like bloggers and influencers to go ahead and talk about. And bloggers can say, okay, I'm looking for other people to join me on this collab. We're going to go ahead and talk about a blog, and we're all going to be in the blog writing it. Or I need some YouTube people to make something. And this is great for YouTubers as well. I know not everyone makes, their collabs that way. But if you are solely doing YouTube, I highly, highly suggest making an Instagram, even if it's just showing your YouTube screenshots, because if you're asking for collabs like solely for YouTube, YouTube, it's not the easiest to message people on. So having the Instagram will be good because that way at least you have a mode of communicating with them. I would say making a business email is very helpful if you're doing a lot of collabs, just for like the safety of your whereabouts and stuff. Maybe open up a PO box would be helpful. A couple of other sites that come to mind that I've been using, not even that I've been using, I guess. I'll share two that a lot of people have like told me about, but I haven't gotten into them. Maybe I wasn't what they were looking for, but I have heard a lot of people get into them. Is Coley Creators is kind of like a new third-party site. And then Maverick, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, is pretty big. Maverick, I think, directly emails you campaigns. Glam Ambassador is really big. I mean, there's honestly probably 100 to 200 different sites that you can use. So it's really just research at that point. But what's really good about these third-party companies is like the company themselves you don't have to communicate with. It's just, the third-party service. They usually pay you through PayPal, which makes it really easy if you want to itemize all of your income for tax season, because, if you make a certain amount of money, and hypothetically, even if you make a small amount of money, you are supposed to consider yourself independent contractor, self-employed, yada, yada. And then once you find the different collabs you want to do, like I said, these are great starting points, but I would never really recommend them as like your end-all be-all, because once I gained a certain amount of followers, I found that it was easier for me to leverage like asking directly companies. And a lot of people are afraid to do this because you get a lot of rejection from it. I'm not going to lie and sit here and say, oh, like I've never been rejected by a company. If you want to make this a serious thing and you want to be consistently getting PR, it's basically a part-time job in itself, honestly, at least from my perspective of it. Like, I've gotten so many no's. I've gotten ghosted so many times. And, a lot of people would give up and say, oh, it's not worth it. Like, why would I want to be rejected all the time? Blah, blah, blah. But there's always that chance that you get a yes. And I would say, depending on how you articulate yourself, like when I would message companies directly, I'll say, hi, my name's Laura, this is my media kit, and this is, my analytics and stuff like this. This is the age at which people are following me from. This is like my most viewed posts and whatever. And I've had pretty decent luck getting direct collabs. Like this collab that I had, which was with a small company called Charlotte and Emerson. They basically make makeup bags, and they're super good quality makeup bags. They hold a lot. And yeah, so I directly DM'd them, and I got the product for free, as well as I was able to host a giveaway, which did increase my engagement as well as my followers. But that is pretty much the most tips that I can think of at the moment. Just make an Instagram, make it a business Instagram so you can see all of your analytics. You don't need a whole lot of followers. I don't even have 5,000 at the moment, so clearly you don't need a whole lot of followers. And use third-party websites to get collabs. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to check out any of those third-party services that I told you guys about, make sure to check the description, and have a great day. Bye. Laura here. So when I filmed that video, editing Laura, by the way, I totally forgot to mention about the rate. So basically, once you hit a certain amount of followers and once you've done a decent amount of collabs, you can start to say, okay, I'm not doing this shit for free. I'm going to charge a rate. A lot of people just starting out who have between 1,000 to 5,000 followers will make their base rate about $20 per item that they promote, as well as getting the item sent to you. Now, if you find that your your engagement is a lot better than 5%, maybe it's closer to 20%, then go ahead and charge more. You kind of have to feel out the situation and see, like, when it comes to time and effort, how much you want to charge. But when you hit that point, always charge. Do not be doing work for free, because at least from my standpoint, when you do these collabs, these aren't like a 5-minute thing, especially if you have a really nice camera or you have to do a lot of video editing. It ends up being quite a bit of time to do, nice photos. So always charge.